in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses. That means the A, B, C, D, gold, orange, or red lines. Remember to pay your fare before you get on. Either buy a ticket at your station's ticket machine, tap your go-to card, or pass to the reader at the station, or activate a ticket on the Metro Transit app. Have your proof of payment ready to show to trip agents if asked, or risk getting a citation. Thank you for your continued riding with Metro Transit.
Across Native communities, tradition and connection guide every step. Make voting a tradition, or MVAT honors that spirit, helping generations come together to shape the future of Native communities. By learning from each other and sharing knowledge through trusted relationships, MVAT helps build trust and make sure Native voices are heard. Voting is more than a right. It's a way to protect the needs of your community and build the future you want. Vote together, stand together, learn more at makevotingatradition.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 38, and Wednesday, sunshine with a high of 49. Maverick's Real Roast Beef is an East Metro treasure with the best roast beef sandwiches in the Twin Cities and so much more. Maverick's is located in Roseville on Lexington Avenue, 1 mile south of Highway 36. Visit their website at mavericksbeef.com.
Good day to be indigenous. Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, welcome everybody. This is Robert Pilot, and this is Native Roots Radio. I'm going to just jump into the show right away here because we have State Representative Heather Keeler on the line, and she's just before she's jumping on a few other things, we wanted to make sure we got her. Thank you so much, Heather, for stopping in on this cold day in your car. Oh,
I know. I was like, I hope you can't hear the rain or the snow or whatever this is that's starting. But yeah, it's definitely changing seasons. But I'll tell you, it's absolutely beautiful out here. I've been driving all over really the entire state, it feels like, the last couple days. And these leaves out here are gorgeous.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we got a lot of things cooking here. And I know your part-time job is a full-time job, and you're moving and grooving. You're going to be in the cities here soon, and there's things happening. But also I want to talk to you because I have a short time with you about, some of the things that you're dealing with and what our community's dealing with.
Yeah, I think the big thing right now, last week, this week, and into this month is the major changes, and basically our knees, our entire legs being taken out from under us when it comes to the SNAP program. In the state of Minnesota, we've done so much work around food insecurities and food shelves to try to help them out. And we know a large population of Minnesotans utilize the SNAP program. And it's one of those programs that are so deeply entangled between, the state and what we can do. We did a lot of work of opening up those resources for a lot of different people. And then the feds, who then can just cut off all the funding. And so we're really, really struggling. I am a huge advocate for food insecurity, addressing food insecurities and making sure that we really look at the local response. And so was at a fall fest with Winona LaDuke yesterday, really talking about the fact that, we can grow our own food. It's food sovereignty. I was down in Mankato talking to some food shelves and some farmers down there about the possibility of, this farm to family mentality, that we can grow a lot here and we can preserve a lot and share it with our communities. And I think in a bit of a better way, so that, we don't feel the impact of hunger across the state.
Yeah, not only hunger, but it's a situation where the good food too, because I don't know if you know this, but Wendy became a vegan after watching Food Inc. And she always was for the animals, but that one put her over the edge, especially with the food insecurities of it's cheaper to get a McDonald's cheeseburger than it is a head of lettuce.
Yeah, well, we always say, like, it's a privilege to be able to shop at the outer banks of the grocery store. That's where your fresh produce is. That's always seems to be really expensive. And you think of like our rural communities, we just don't have the same access. Trucks and getting things out to smaller communities is always harder. And then, the meats and the proteins, and the thing that I carried a bill the last couple years that talked about food as medicine. And it was understanding that utilizing Medicaid and SNAP collectively actually makes us a healthier population, which in the long run, is better for all of us, because it does really matter what we put in our bodies. And so if we're living off of pennies to buy our food, we're usually buying, boxed food or things that aren't good for us in the long run. And that has an expense not only on us, but on our community when we're unhealthy. And so, it feels like our hands are tied as state legislators often when the feds do this. But that doesn't mean that we stop fighting and that we don't, we're always giving information. I've met with Klobuchar, with Tina Smith's staff, Betty McCollum's staff. Like, we're just trying our hardest to take what we're feeling on the ground here and communicating that to our federal delegation right now, so that we're working collectively as a team, because we're going to feel some hardships, that's for sure. And so, one thing I've been saying is we are also part of the solution as the community. And so, go through your cupboards. I know it feels like everybody does this around November, and there's always these, like, we have a Fill the Dome thing in Fargo that we do, but food shelves are taking donations all the time. There's a food shelf in every community. People can utilize it all the time. They're on college campuses. There's a lot of church and different organizations that start up their own hygiene and food shelves. And so if you're part of organizations, or you're just cleaning up your house, or you're going to the grocery store and you see there's a sale on something and you have the means to purchase them, to put them into community, please, please, please consider doing those things. Those small acts of love and kindness are going to be a really big deal for some of our neighbors.
Yeah, and make sure it's good food, and I want to be able to say that too, because that's really important too. Mac and cheese only goes so far, but it is kind of good.
Yeah, before that, it is good, right? I always throw little hot dogs in there, right? Yeah. I mean, that's right. Don't we all put hot dogs in our mac and cheese?
Vegan dogs over here.
Vegan dogs, yeah, that's what I meant. And before the pandemic, it felt like we were partnering with restaurants much more too, for their hot, warm leftovers, making sure that they're partnered with organizations and transportation ways to safely maneuver food too. So if you work in organizations or entities that can help build those relationships again, the pandemic really shut those opportunities down, and we haven't really revived them like we used to. And so just throwing some suggestions out there, because I think when we feel some of this pain in our community, there's always people that want to know ways that they can help, and yelling at the federal government is one way, but it really is a community response right now that we're going to have to activate.
Yeah, and I like your attitude on that, because there is things to do between our big marches and things like that that are real tangible. I always like to talk to you about, what is the action that we need to do, and I'm glad you brought that up right away.
Yeah. Did you go to a rally?
Oh yeah, we went to the big one in Minneapolis.
Yeah, that was so cool. I'm a sports mom, so Saturdays are always about college football for me. And so I actually missed the one in Fargo. But we do these Fire Up Fridays every Friday together just to get the community engaged. And it was just so cool because me and my best friend were driving down to DJ's football game in South Dakota, which is a really red state. I mean, we all know that. And, you know, the big marches I think are really cool, and how many people turned out in Minneapolis, St. Paul is really great. But the coolest thing was we were driving in South Dakota, middle of nowhere, and one of the overpasses over the freeway, there were like 7 people with signs up there, and we were honking and stuff. And it's like, you know, those 7 people are in a pocket somewhere and they're collectively organizing, because I watched the news last night and they said, you know, this whole movement, the mission is, if you have to drive further than 100 miles to get to an organized event, then it's your job to organize in your own community. And I think that's a message that is worth sharing, because it's our own communities that ignite each other and lean into each other and support each other. And we tend to trust each other differently. And so just kind of think of that as you, wherever you live, because I know this is a far reach, that if you're craving an event or something to go do and you have to drive more than 100 miles, maybe that's your calling to just organize in your own community, because I promise you there's like-minded people with you, even if it's 7 people to stand on an overpass in the middle of South Dakota, right? Like they're there. And so don't be afraid. We all need to take really big steps of courage right now and engage with each other. And so I just think the pictures are so cool of who's been involved in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw Wendy's, but Wendy made a sign for me that said "too many issues for one poster." So I like that one, and and she did the frog with she did an awesome frog. But hey, I know you got to get going. Really, really appreciate you stopping in and starting out the show in a good way.
Yeah, thanks, Whoopie Dog. Look at those closets. Look at those pantries. Donate some food.
Right on. State Representative Heather Keeler, have a great day. Thanks for stopping in, and we'll see you soon. Hey, this Native Roots Radio will be right back after this short break. Hey, up next, Bob Blake from Red Lake, the Solar Bear with the Solar News, along with Wendy Pilot. This is Native Roots Radio. Hoa!
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
All My Relations Arts presents Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer. This powerful exhibition blends painting, poetry, and installations, inviting reflections on memory, culture, and healing. Join us for the opening reception Thursday, October 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at All My Relations Arts on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Matrilineal Memory runs October 16th through December 13th. Experience the unveiling of an exhibition that speaks to the heart. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The easy all-in-one plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus many extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hey, this is Tuesday, and we have our friend Bob Blake from Red Lake. I always love to say that, Bob. We have the Solar Bear with the Solar News, and then a little later on, a little solar sports, because there's some weird stuff going on here with the Vikings, and I don't know if you saw that with I don't know, are those Vikings fans that are giving him a hard time on X, or I'm not clear because I don't think they write articles very well anymore.
Yeah, and I think, Robert, what's going on there is you've got some trollers out there and who aren't really necessarily Vikings fans, but are trolling the team. And, in a time like this where, everybody's a telephone tough guy.
Oh, I like that one.
Everybody can say what they want to say. And essentially not, there not be any repercussions, because you're not like right there in front of them. But, hey, Robert, like anything,
let me reintroduce you, Bob, because we just jumped into that. But this is Bob Blake with the Solar Bear with the Solar News, and welcome as always.
And sports.
Yes, that's the next segment. Oh,
yeah, but real quickly answering your question, Robert.
Yeah, thank you.
That that whole thing right there too. I mean, let's be perfectly honest about this. I mean, you wouldn't say that stuff if you were like, right there with the individual. So, that's why I say like a lot of this is just trolling. A lot of this is like. But we'll talk about that on the next segment, and I want to get to obviously the solar news, but I also want to get to Owatani's history-making evening, unfortunately against the Milwaukee Brewers. But I mean, Robert, that evening, that game, I watched that game. I watched that whole game, and I am telling you. That has got to be the greatest performance by a Major League Baseball player in the history of the game.
Yeah. Just the 3 home runs, but then yet he pitched 6-7 innings, right?
He started the game, Robert, by striking out the side and then getting up and being the leadoff hitter and knocking a home run. Robert, hands down, I've never seen that happen. So incredible. Unfortunately, it was, against the Milwaukee Brewers. But, the solar news with the Solar Bear, everyone. And I think what I want to talk about here is just that, some unfortunate news here. But listen, everybody, this is not good news, but we have reached a tipping point where it looks like we're going to lose the coral reefs, they're saying, because what happens is, everyone, is the heat, the ocean soaks up the heat, and it's like a carbon, or not a carbon, but like a, like a sink, so almost, so to speak. It takes all the heat, and so kind of like a bath water, like you're running your bath, you got hot water in there. That's kind of what happens. So just saying here, everyone, we managed to get to that tipping point, and that's not good, because that then affects the marine life, that affects the ecosystem of the ocean. The ocean affects, everything is connected, like we say in native country, Robert. So that's a reality of our world now. That is almost that's being verified by numerous scientists, across the across the world. So unfortunately, yeah.
Crazy.
And then, but here's some good news. A startup is trying to make a do-it-yourself home battery happen. This is a really interesting story, because you've got these expensive Tesla Powerwalls and all these other things, but because of the technology and because of the advancement of the battery world, these things are becoming less and less more expensive, and are becoming more and more affordable. So the less that we can take off the grid, the less coal gets burned, which then affects climate change. So being able to be for the startup to be doing this work in this space, Robert, is really good for the environment and really good for electricity bills, because we all know too that the Trump administration has really attacked these energy efficiency programs that help Americans out who can't pay their electricity bills. the policies coming in from Washington have really attacked the renewable energy industry. And so, seeing stories like this where, renewable energy entrepreneurs are still persisting and still making way because, the economics, right? The economics are just there to do this. Is just such a great story. So I encourage everybody to check that out. And California has a new law to prevent big grid fires. So they're implementing these new kind of laws, Robert, out there. Governor Gavin Newsom, and I say this to you all because this is important because this is going to go across the country because, as we see, wildfires are not just affecting California; it's kind of affecting everywhere. You see them out in New York now. You see them, in Canada, and
bad air here from Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is a really good idea that they start a lot of this policy that is really going to really focus in on, Robert, like microgrids. And so you're not completely turning off the entire grid. But what you're doing is you're turning off certain sections. So because there are individuals in certain sections that are elderly, that need air conditioning, that need the fan, that need electricity to run their energy for their diabetes medication. There's so many things here, Robert, that we can't all get into, but I think this is really important legislation that they're working on in California that I think other states can take a look at and that we could copy and implement into our climate plans and our climate legislation.
Bob, we talked about this a long, long time ago. What's the plus and negative when it comes to burying these cables? One of them is we weren't able to plug into the grid, and the other, but there's a safety part too. Where are we at with that?
Yeah. So it really comes down to cost, right? In order to bury a lot of these power lines, it's really, really expensive. But when you think about, when you start to quantifying, right? All of the advantages like time of electricity being down for businesses, weather, tornadoes, we're starting to get more and more tornadoes, hurricane winds. We saw that really horrible storm go through Bemidji, Minnesota, essentially taking out Bemidji, right? They were down for a couple of weeks, and you had all of these electrical companies sending up their linemen, sending up their electricians to be able to work on that electric grid. After I think it was a day or something, people were just throwing out food, throwing out, you name it. And so I think when the utilities start to look at the advantages of burying the power lines, I think you're going to start seeing this more happen in the future. And Robert, we bury a lot of lines as it is, and I think as we start to do this and we start to plan this out, we got to start thinking about district heating, geothermal. We need to start thinking about smart grid. We need to start thinking about, as we're burning these power lines, how we're connecting it to the web. All these things can be happening. So a lot of the stop process, I think, is going to be happening, and you're going to be seeing this happen over the next decade, Robert.
Wow, that's amazing. And I can't wait until the future, it looks bright, but also we have to really weather the storm that's happening right now.
Yeah, and I'd like to let people, and everyone understand, I don't think, renewable energy is going anywhere. I think that this is here to stay. I think the ship has left the port, right? And the other part about this is too, Robert, is, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. I want to let everybody understand something. We're not going to get unscathed. We're not going to get unscathed, but we are going to get through this because we've got good politicians that are going to implement good policy measures that are going to put back what has been broken. When you let an elephant loose in the china shop or in the glass building, he's gonna wreck some stuff. And so I think you just had Representative Keeler on, right?
Yes.
Yep. And we've got Lieutenant Governor Flanagan running for Senate. I mean, we've got good people that are gonna carry the torch forward and have this fight and put our country back on the right track.
Did you hear Shelley Buck's running now too, down in state representative, which is just awesome.
Oh, that is great. Shelley's wonderful. I'm really happy for her. I've always said, Robert, and Robert, you said it. You've been saying it for the last, I don't know how many years, but we got to get out. We got to start companies. We got to start nonprofits. We got to get more education. We got to run for public office. All these things you've been saying for the last, how many years on this program, it needs to happen. And so the more and more I see Native people getting involved in politics, the more and more I'm so happy and want to get behind all of them.
Hey, we're with Bob Blake from Red Lake. I'd love to say that. Hey, we're the Solar Bear with the Solar News. Up next, the Solar Sports. Oh, wow, with the Solar Bear. Across Native communities, tradition and connection guide every step. Make voting a tradition, or MVAT, celebrates that spirit, helping generations come together to shape the future of Native communities. MVAT has empowered Native American communities by bringing friends and families together to talk about important issues and sharing helpful information about how and where to vote. By learning from each other and leaning on trusted relationships, MVAT helps Native communities feel confident in voting and making their choices heard. Voting is more than a right. It's a way to protect the needs of your community and have a say in the future. MVAT has been helping Native communities across the state for 9 years, creating stronger, more engaged communities every election. Vote together, stand together. Explore a fact sheet that explains some of the elected offices on the ballot and why they matter to you, your family, and your community at makevotingatradition.org. That's makevotingatradition.org.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses. That means the A, B, C, D, gold, orange, or red lines. Remember to pay your fare before you get on. Either buy a ticket at your station's ticket machine, tap your go-to card, or pass to the reader at the station, or activate a ticket on the Metro Transit app. Have your proof of payment ready to show to trip agents if asked, or risk getting a citation. Thank you for your continued riding with Metro Transit. We've all seen the effects of wood smoke pollution this year, so before hosting that backyard bonfire, follow these simple tips to protect yourself, others, and the environment. Remember to give your neighbors a heads up before building a fire so those who find wood smoke bothersome can close their windows. Make sure to never burn wet or recently cut wood, other yard waste, plastic, or garbage. These things can be toxic when burned and create excess smoke. For more tips on how to burn responsibly, visit epa.gov/burnwise. Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. October is here, so Halloween is right around the corner. And if you're thinking of having a horror movie marathon with friends, you better make sure your home doesn't look like something out of one of those movies. Don't ghost your carpet this fall. My cleaning heroes at Zero Res can help get all those spooky smells and creepy stains out of your home. Carpet, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, any surface in your home can be Zero Resified. Right now, you can get your entire home Zero Resified from Minnesota's ultimate carpet cleaner with 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. But there's something even scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home, and it's in your air ducts. This month, take 15% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning service. Don't let a missed deal haunt you. Call 9520-RES or go to zeroresminnesota.com today and ask for the AM 950 special. Backorder forward spells the same. Zero Res. With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 38, and Wednesday, sunshine with a high of 49. Maverick's Real Roast Beef is an East Metro treasure with the best roast beef sandwiches in the Twin Cities and so much more. Maverick's is located in Roseville on Lexington Avenue, 1 mile south of Highway 36. Visit their website at mavericksbeef.com.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back. We are here with Bob Blake, the Solar Bear, and we were talking about some solar news, and now I don't know if you want to segue into this or if you have any more solar news.
No, I just want to, if I could, Robert, just do a quick shout out. Quick shout out to the Public Utilities Commissioners for Minnesota. Was able to meet with them yesterday. We had a great meeting. It was just a wonderful conversation, and we had lots to talk about. But I appreciate the Minnesota Public Utilities Commissioners coming to the Red Lake Nation and meeting with us, and it was really great. And then I will be meeting with, got a meeting set up tomorrow with the United States Senate Energy on Indian Development, or Indian Affairs Committee people on energy development. So, really appreciate that, the policy of the feds and the state are really taking interest in energy development in tribal countries. So just wanted to throw that out there and just say thank you to everyone. Miigwech.
Oh, that's great. And before we get into the elephant in the room, I just want to give a shout out. Last night, Wendy and I were watching the baseball game, and we were all happy that Seattle would be in their first World Series ever. And then Toronto had other ideas. It was like right in front of us.
Right. I was really hoping, Robert, for Seattle too. I have to admit that. And then there's the part of me too, Robert, that Don Mattingly is going to be managing the Toronto Blue Jays, and this is going to, what is this, like 40 years he's been in the major leagues or something? And this is so I hope he gets this World Series after 40 years of being in the big leagues and not being able to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, he's the manager of Toronto?
Toronto Blue Jays. Yep. He's the manager of Toronto. Don Mattingly, the old New York Yankee. Remember him?
He must have shaved his mustache off because I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Google that.
Yeah, he's on the Toronto Blue Jays. So I think I want to say like 40 years or something, Robert. He's been in the big league.
Oh, yeah. His rookie card was in the 80s. Yeah.
Like 82, wasn't it? Like, didn't he start in like 82 or something? But irregardless, he doesn't have, I don't think he has a championship. So
I remember he had 7 Grand Slams in one season, like a record, and didn't have one before or since. And it was like 1987. He was like one of the best players in the major leagues for a good 4 or 5 years before his back went out.
Yeah, wow, incredible. So hey, Robert, it looks like the Vikings are going to stick with Carson Wentz this Thursday out in Los Angeles.
I was hoping the Gopher quarterback would come in. What's his name?
Bosner, yeah.
Max.
So Carson Wentz is looks like Kevin O'Connell is staying with Carson Wentz this Thursday out in Los Angeles. This is going to be a Thursday night game, everyone. So the Vikings have a short week. But it looks like JJ McCarthy is going to be riding the pine once again. So let's see how they do.
He's still injured though, right? So Max Brosmer, former Gopher, is the backup quarterback, right?
Yeah, I think he's suited up for like third string, but yeah, it looks like Boz Max is going to be the backup. Yep, correct. And
Well,
then
before we get into this, I just want to, because I know we'll forget, because I just want to give the Packers a shout out. They won on that 61-yard field goal, and it was a new franchise record. I just want to get that out of the way because we have a big audience in Wisconsin, and so I wanted to give them a big congratulations.
yeah, oh, absolutely, Robert. And I'm telling you, they're going to be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is going to be the Sunday night game at 7 p.m. So everybody, Sunday night football is going to be Green Bay playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do we know who is the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Robert?
Oh God, one of the most craziest anti-vaxxers out there. But I know a lot of these athletes are anti-vaxxers, but I just can't stand him. I couldn't stand him when he was a Packer quarterback, and then now he just went up the deep end. Mr. Non-COVID, and oh God.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing the Green Bay Packers this Sunday night. So I think that's going to make it for a very lively game.
Yeah, well, he seems to be doing okay this year. He's got an offensive line, but yeah, wow, yeah. And then was it last weekend too? Our Gophers won. They beat Nebraska, which was a top 25 team.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. I think PJ Fleck has got the guys over there on the campus fired up, and he's a great motivator. PJ Fleck, he's just a wonderful motivator. Really like his coaching style. Really like his optimism. I think he does a great job.
I like how he runs onto the field. I wonder if he's going to do that 20 years from now.
Exactly. Hey, Robert, interesting story though came out here from bookies.com, and they're saying that the Minnesota Timberwolves are the 5th most expensive NBA game to watch in the NBA. Like for a family of 4 to go to the game. So you think of tickets, popcorn, hot dogs, whatever, parking. Right. They're the 5th most expensive team to go watch in the NBA. I thought that was interesting. I guess I just don't really realize that when I go to the Timberwolves games, I'm just spending all that money.
Yeah. Well, and we're still waiting for an invite to your suite. So when
we're gonna get you in there. And Robert, I want to talk about the Minnesota Wild this coming year here real quick, because they are going to have live music, rink rock musical lineup every Saturday home game throughout the entire season. Now, I really like this, Robert, because they're going to be featuring local acts. And, and so I think this is going to be really cool, and I think it's going to make it really exciting. And I think that's what it's got to be about, right? Like, just make it really fun for the family, make it really fun for the fans. So I really like this move by the Minnesota Wild to have live music, to make it festive, to get everybody involved. I think this is going to be a great thing that the Minnesota Wild's putting on.
Get the St. Paul Scouts alumni group together and blast some horns.
Get some Madison Scouts in there. I mean, we're talking Wisconsin here. I agree. I think we got to get you guys back together, get the band back together.
Exactly.
So, Robert, I want to just quickly close out here talking about Owatani, historical evening.
Yes.
He went 3 for 4 at the plate. He had 3 home runs. He walked. They walked him. Of course, they were going to walk him. They weren't going to pitch to him again. But he went 3 for 4, and he pitched 6 innings, 6 1/3 of an inning, and he had like 11 strikeouts, I believe it was.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
And so throughout the sports world, they were all trying to like equate this to something, and they were like saying like this is like Tom Brady throwing like 3 touchdowns and then like getting the interception to win the game or something, for defense.
Yeah.
But each and every one of these professional athletes were just simply saying like that is just unbelievable. To do it both sides, and they know how difficult this is. But I mean, I don't know what we can really equate this maybe to a Michael Jordan game. I have no idea, Robert. But this is like just simply unbelievable what Owatani accomplished in that game. And unfortunately, it was the Milwaukee Brewers. And let's remember, too, the Milwaukee Brewers had a spectacular season.
Yes, definitely. Geez. I got to think, too, like I always say, they say that the greatest baseball player is Willie Mays or Babe Ruth. And the reason why Babe Ruth was the greatest is that he would have went into the Hall of Fame as a pitcher before he started hitting home runs as a pitcher, and then they turned him into an outfielder after that. But yeah, this is really amazing, especially when we see all these people striking out, and then him able to pitch. This is unbelievable.
31 years of age. He has got 55 home runs this year, 102 RBIs. He's got 172 hits. Just having a spectacular season, MVP season over there in Los Angeles. They said this, he's got the highest like contract, right, for a baseball player, like $750 million or something like that. I forgot.
Jeez.
But they said that the Dodgers in their first year made back all the money they gave him for his entire contract in 1 year because of the merchandise they sold because of him. So his brand recognition just for that team literally pays for the entire team. That's the kind of economics he generates for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That's insane. And I'll be rooting for the Toronto because they haven't been in the World Series in 32 years. Like, I think the Twins haven't been in the World Series in 34 years, and they haven't been in since 93. So we were 91. So I want to give them a big shout out. And the Dodgers too. I'm almost like at the point where I'm like hating the Dodgers like I hate the Yankees did, back in the day when they had the biggest payroll. Now the Dodgers do.
Yeah. I'm looking at Don Mattingly's stuff here. He spent 14 years, Robert. Playing in the Major League Baseball. As a coach, he's been a coach since 2004. As a manager, 2016 to now. And he's a coach for the Blue Jays, and so he's just been in this thing since 1982. It looks like here, Robert. So
wow.
Amazing how many years he's been in the major leagues.
Exactly. Hey, I want to get a big shout out and thank you, Robert, for coming on and talking about all these issues and having a little fun with the sports, with the Solar Bear with the sports. We're going to have Wendy on and talk about our sacred animals section here next. And it's just been just a fun, well-rounded show. I can't wait. And thanks again, Robert, for everything you do in Indian country.
That's the Solar Bear with the solar news and sports.
Right on. Hey, we'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio. We'll be back with Wendy. I got your mic hot, Wendy.
Stay with us.
All right. Hey, it's Native Roots Radio.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Across Native communities, tradition and connection guide every step. Make voting a tradition, or MVAT celebrates that spirit, helping generations come together to shape the future of Native communities. MVAT has empowered Native American communities by bringing friends and families together to talk about important issues and sharing helpful information about how and where to vote. By learning from each other and leaning on trusted relationships, MVAT helps Native communities feel confident in voting and making their choices heard. Voting is more than a right. It's a way to protect the needs of your community and have a say in the future. MVAT has been helping Native communities across the state for 9 years, creating stronger, more engaged communities every election. Vote together, stand together. Explore a fact sheet that explains some of the elected offices on the ballot and why they matter to you, your family, and your community at makevotingatradition.org. That's makevotingatradition.org.
A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses. That means the A, B, C, D, gold, orange, or red lines. Remember to pay your fare before you get on. Either buy a ticket at your station's ticket machine, tap your go-to card, or pass to the reader at the station, or activate a ticket on the Metro Transit app. Have your proof of payment ready to show to trip agents if asked, or risk getting a citation. Thank you for your continued riding with Metro Transit.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our United States wolves and bears. Say no to the hunts.
Oh!
Rawr.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. Hey, your camera's not on.
I don't know what's going on.
Just click the camera
Okay,
icon.
here we go.
Hey. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have put it on. You can see my messy office.
It's okay.
Hey, welcome, Wendy. I want to, introduce my awesome and beautiful wife. Wendy's been an animal advocate for many years, and she's been a co-founder of Native Roots Radio, and I learned so much from her segments and how we can protect and what's happening to our relatives.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, everybody. My name is Hanaji Hihani. That means cares for them. I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajinga. I am a policy volunteer for Humane World for Animals, formerly known as the Humane Society of the United States. And I work on animal issues at the local and state level. It's always my pleasure to do that. Woo! Yeah. So I was just reading about this awesome festival. There's a heartwarming festival in the country of Nepal. It's dedicated to honoring dogs, and it's called Kuku Tihar, or the Festival of Dogs. It's celebrated on the second day of the 5-day Hindu festival, Tikar. And it takes place on October 20th this year. On this special day, dogs are revered for their loyalty and companionship. They're adorned with flower garlands, and they're given a ton of treats and dog food, and they're marked with a red tika as a sign of respect and blessing. So that takes place in Nepal on October 20th.
Is that really a
year.
ton? A ton or a lot? Ton of treats or a lot
ton
of
of treats? A lot of treats.
Okay,
a lot of
this is
treats.
like a ton's a lot.
Yeah,
See,
ton is
that'd
a
be
lot.
great.
Ton would be like an elephant size treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So they're really given a lot of, and that's even the stray dogs that wander the streets. It's just like all dogs. So they really take care of the dogs, and any of the dogs that are just homeless, people take care of them. So yeah,
That's good news.
isn't that good news?
I think of the res dogs and the res dogs running around on the res. They need a day like that.
They do need a day. They need it every day like that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. This is from Cowboy State Daily, written by Jackson Walker, dated October 9th, 2025. Evanston will discontinue use of its animal gas chamber. Evanston, Wyoming, Mayor Kent Williams on Thursday confirmed to Cowboy State Daily the city plans to discontinue and use its animal euthanasia gas chamber. Evanston was the only known city in the United States to still maintain and use of the controversial animal euthanasia method following a unanimous Tuesday decision by the Green River City Council to ban the use of its chamber. That decision followed months of national outrage from animal rights activists who argued the method was inhumane and cruel. Williams said in a phone conversation he feels the timing is right given the national outcry surrounding the issue. He also said the local police department led to this decision. So I'd kind of like to find out a little bit more about the police and how they did that. But I'm really glad that this is like a thing of the past. There's, states and counties and cities are not using these horrible gas chambers anymore for, euthanasia. I mean, the word euthanasia, if you look it up, it means good death.
What?
Well, it does. Euthanasia,
Okay,
good
no.
death. So it means that, the animal's sedated, they're in
Mm.
a calm space, and then they're given a lethal injection, and it's not painful. It's not, anything like that. A gas chamber could be horrific. So glad that's done. Yeah. So from Facebook page Animal Justice, this is huge. This is funny. I had no idea about this. So the Supreme Court of Canada.
Mhm.
Okay, so their robes, they used to wear these robes that look like kind of Santa Claus-y, furry things, right? So the Supreme Court of Canada's ceremonial robes have been redesigned and now are fur-free.
Good.
Yeah, the old Santa Claus, in quotes, robes were trimmed with animal fur reportedly sourced from a fur farm near Kingston, Ontario.
Mm.
Yep, Animal Justice applauds the Supreme Court's leadership in moving away from the cruel fur industry.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
so
an
there's
applause
a
button.
picture of the, yes, definitely. And it's from these little animals called ermine. Ermine, ermine fur. They kind of look like ferrets. Really cute little animals. Yeah. So we're getting away from that. There's a fashion industry, really popular brands out there who are saying no to fur anymore. Let's get rid of this. This is a really wonderful story I want to share with you. During a family hike, a 9-year-old boy with autism wandered off into the forest and vanished. Search teams scoured the woods all night and nothing. They couldn't find him. At sunrise, he walked out of the trees, muddy but safe. When his mother asked how he found his way back, he said softly, "The wolves guided me." But no one believed him until a week later, a hunter's game camera revealed the truth. The boy was walking between two wolves, one leading, one guarding behind.
Are you kidding? I'm
Yeah,
about to cry.
I have pictures of it. Experts are stunned. It's empathy, said one biologist. They recognized his fear and protected him. His mother wasn't surprised, and she said, "He's always felt connected to animals," she said. I believed him the whole time, even before they saw the camera. Now locals say that on quiet nights, soft howls echo through the trees, a lullaby from the wild that once watched over a lost child. And there's a picture of the boy walking in the forest with the wolves, and it looks like he has his hand on one of the wolves' backs. I don't know if you could put that up, but yeah, isn't that amazing? Maybe the animals could sense, that he was, of course the animals don't know he's autistic, but maybe they just felt like a sense about him, that, like it said, that he needed help and he was scared and he wasn't a threat. And Robert's putting up the picture from the dash cam. Yeah, of the hunter's dash cam. Yeah, I know. I love that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a great story. So Robert, we feed our squirrels, right?
Yeah.
So a strange viral disease is causing squirrels to look like something out of a horror film. Yeah, in backyards across the United States and Canada, people have observed squirrels with alarming wart-like growths, prompting concern and circulation of rumors on social media. A story from Our Blue Planet wildlife experts explain that these zombie squirrels are likely afflicted with a naturally occurring condition called squirrel fibromatosis, and it's caused by a virus. The disease produces benign skin tumors, often on the face, limbs, and body, that can appear grotesque, especially if they get ulcerated or infected. Despite their alarming appearance, most squirrels recover within 4 to 8 weeks as their immune systems suppress the virus. This disease is not transmittable to humans, pets, or birds, and experts caution against panic. However, feeders may contribute to the spreading of the virus. So, an infected squirrel can leave saliva on seeds, which healthy animals then, can eat. So wildlife authorities are recommending removing the feeders temporarily. So we'll have to keep an eye on our squirrels. If we see our squirrels with any of these crazy growths on them, we'll take the feeders down and make sure everything's clean, because we don't want uninfected squirrels to get that. But I'm glad that their immune system is able to work, and the virus will leave their bodies within 4 to 8 weeks. So it's nothing that's deadly.
Well, I just got to say our squirrels are fed well. I just saw a couple of them. They're having trouble walking. They're not fat. Hey, thanks, State Representative Heather Keeler, Bob Blake, and Wendy Pilot. If you're listening to the show, you are part of the resistance. We're still here. We are the 7th generation. We'll see you tomorrow. Native Roots Radio signing off.
A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses.